In this episode, I answer questions sent in to me by you guys. We're covering questions on best membership platforms to use when starting your membership, if you should offer multiple tiers inside of your membership, and can you sell your membership without running ads, and more. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of $1 Million Memberships. I am so excited for this one because we are getting into our monthly Q&A episode. And if you haven't already heard, at the end of every single month, the last Monday of every month, we're running a Q&A episode, basically where I am just taking all of the questions that have been submitted to me from you guys and choosing a handful and answering them right here in depth on the podcast. We got some amazing questions in, and I think you're really going to find today's episode valuable, whether you are just getting your membership started or you've been running your membership for a little while, you're trying to establish. This is a really, really good one. And of course, if you're like, where the hell do I submit questions? I want to have my questions answered on the podcast. You can find me on Instagram at The Membership Muse. So many people just send me DMs and ask me questions there. I also occasionally will put that questions feature box on my Instagram stories, and I'll get questions from you guys there. And now that we're on YouTube, you can also just ask your questions right on the videos or in our community. So definitely, if you have any questions that you want submitted, if there's something that maybe wasn't answered on this episode that you're still really curious about, definitely submit your questions all through the month, and I just collect them and then I answer as many as I can on these episodes. So let's get into the first question. We had Amina asked, what is the best membership platform to start with? There are great membership platforms out there right now. There are tons of new platforms popping up, it seems like every single day, but I want to break down my top favorite, and I'm going to break down exactly why these are my favorite and why most people, including a lot of members inside of my membership, $1 Million Memberships Club, go with these membership platforms. But I'm going to break down my top picks. So my first one that I'd like to go through is Kajabi. Kajabi, I like to go through this one because this is a very standard platform for business, not only just for having your membership, but for having everything else, having courses, having your email list, having your website, even having your podcast now. It's literally like an all-in-one online business platform, which is what I really love about Kajabi. Because of that, Kajabi has a really strong deliverable for being able to make really intricate funnels for your membership. So say having some kind of like lead magnet, which is then attached to a funnel that actually sells your membership on the back end. Kajabi is great for that, which we will get into in a little bit here of why that's important. But Kajabi really has those like other things outside of community supporting it. Now, when it comes to the actual community itself, why I like Kajabi is because number one, you can customize it. I'm a huge aesthetics person. I know a lot of our other female membership founders are such aesthetic people. And honestly, I feel like a good aesthetic just makes the community more of a vibe. It makes it something that people actually want to be a part of. People don't want to be a part of this like clunky website that looks like it was built from like this tech bro in 2000. You know what I mean? Like people want a luxury experience, and Kajabi is really great for that. You can customize it. You can do a branded app where people download your app rather than downloading the Kajabi. And so that makes it a little bit more professional. Inside the community itself, there's a lot of hubs that really aid in helping your members get really great results. So outside of just the community itself, like the regular chat forums that Kajabi has, Kajabi also has meetups right there in the community. So if your membership has live calls or live workshops or guests coming in, anything like that, there's a spot right in Kajabi community for your members to actually attend the meetup, add it to their calendar, and they'll automatically be notified with that meetup so that you don't necessarily have to constantly worry about, am I reminding my members to get on this call? Kajabi does all of that for you. So that is just like an amazing feature on its own. Outside of that, Kajabi also has something called the challenges feature. This is something that you can use it in so many ways. You can get really creative with it. But basically what a challenge is it's something inside of your community that people can then opt into if they want, and they don't have to if they don't want either, which is great for really reducing overwhelm and customizing people's personal experience within a membership. But people can go into the challenge section, join a challenge, and get even more out of your membership. So for an example, instead of $1 Million Memberships Club, we have an orientation challenge. This is the first thing that our members go into when they come into our community. It basically walks them through orientation step by step. Download your checklist, introduce yourself, fill out your profile, connect with another member. All of these things are inside of our orientation challenge. And what's really nice is once the challenge is done, once they've completed all of those steps inside of orientation, they get to check it off, they get a little badge, challenge complete. They feel like they're getting that momentum. If you want to learn more about that after this episode, you can head to episode 16 called Onboarding Secrets, what every Start Here section needs to have. And I really break down exactly what I just talked about with the challenges and how that actually looks and how you can use challenges for onboarding. You can also just use challenges for extra support. So let's just say you have a mindset or lifestyle type membership. Maybe inside of there you have a vision board challenge where members are inside of your membership. They get the regular membership benefits like being in a community. Maybe they have a course in there. They get to join your meetups. But maybe for those who want to take it one step further and really challenge themselves or are feeling a little bit stagnant, they can go in and join a challenge. So maybe you have something like a vision boarding challenge in there, or maybe you have something like a 2 weeks to master your money in there, if that works with your membership. There's so many just different ways that you can be creative when it comes to Kajabi communities, which is what I really love. Because at the end of the day, you have to get creative in a membership to make sure that it's something people want to stay in, people are actually enjoying, people feel like they're not just being stagnant in, and that they're getting results in. And I feel like Kajabi does a really good job at providing different features that allows you to do that. Wow, this kind of sounded like an ad for Kajabi, but it's not. On top of all that, you guys already know if you listen to my Do Referral Programs Really Work episode. Again, if you haven't listened to that one, you got some episodes to listen to. Go listen to that one as well. You know, I'm a huge fan of creating in-house affiliate or ambassador programs within your membership once your membership starts to really gain traction and you start getting members inside. I won't explain why here because I did a whole episode on it in the referrals one, but definitely go back and give that a listen. But what I really love about Kajabi is they have a place inside of Kajabi where you can automatically track your affiliate. So anyone who signs up for your affiliate program, you can either do it by invite only or anyone can join if you have it, depending on how you have it set up. The one thing that's really nice is Kajabi tracks who your affiliates are, what they get paid out, and they just introduced a feature where they automatically now pay out your affiliate so that you don't have to set a time in your schedule every single month, see who made what, who brought in how many people, and then manually pay them out. That is huge. That is not a common feature of a lot of membership platforms. Usually you have to sign up for like a third party, like Rewardful or something like that if you want to have an affiliate program, but Kajabi does it all for you. So it's just what I really love is not only is it great for your members, but it's great for your business. It's an all-in-one platform, which really allows you to not have to pay for all these separate subscriptions outside of Kajabi itself. The next one is Mighty Network. So what I really love about Mighty Networks is a really primarily community forward platform. Their whole thing is built around community, is really built around having members connect with other members, member connection. And we know that when it comes to memberships, this is the hands down most important thing. It doesn't matter how great your course is. It doesn't matter how great all of these, like your branding or all these things, even though those things matter, what actually matters when it comes to memberships is the community. And we know that community is built by members connecting with members. And so that is what Mighty Networks just completely like chef's kiss the best at. At this exact time of me recording this episode, I don't really know of another platform that does a better job at connecting members with members than Mighty Networks. So I will give them that. They are great at that. Mighty Networks really allows you to do little touches with your community that do make a difference. So it lets you see what members are active, which so does Kajabi, but it takes it one step further and it says, here are some members who are near you, who have similar interests than you. So it takes it further than just seeing who's active like most platforms do. And it really allows you to see, okay, this person also lives in San Diego, California, so do I. This person also really likes spirituality, so do I. I'm going to connect with this person. And then it really helps navigate and introduce those relationships, which is really important when it comes to community. Mighty Networks also has a course feature, so you are able to have a course on the back end just like you are with Kajabi. So if your membership has something where you have a community, you have calls, but then you also have a course or frameworks or modules or training videos or anything like that that people need to go through to get the full result of your membership, Mighty Networks also offers that. One thing Mighty Networks does not offer is email marketing like how Kajabi does. So for instance, if you were wanting to really start getting into creating funnels and being able to sell your membership on the back end, or even doing different tags with different members, depending on maybe different levels or different starting places, or segmenting your people in any sort of way, which as you are growing your membership, you definitely want to do that. Mighty Networks does not have the same capability as Kajabi when it comes to email marketing, creating funnels, segmenting, tagging, that kind of thing. Which when you are growing your membership to multiple 6 and 7 figures, you definitely want to have these things inside of your membership. It's not to say that you can't do it by having a membership with Mighty Networks, but you just have to, at this time, again, do it with a different platform, which again can be kind of clunky feeling. Mighty Networks also has the branded app capability. So if you do want to move from just like a regular Mighty Networks app and you want to brand your own app with your own branding, people search your membership inside of the app store instead of like Mighty Networks, then you have that capability with them as well, which is again, as you're scaling, as you're establishing, as you're really dialing in and establishing your brand, this is a great option and a great thing to do. So all in all, between those two really popular platforms, my top pick right now has to be Kajabi. Although I love Mighty Networks community capabilities more than Kajabi's right now. Kajabi wins me over because you can host the rest of your business inside of their platform, which just makes it more cost efficient. It makes it easier. It makes it less clunky. And ultimately, there's less room for error when everything is all in one platform. So that's what I really love about it. Plus, just recently, Kajabi announced some massive changes to their platform, which is also why it really tipped Kajabi over the edge for me, because before, honestly, I was like pretty half and half with them. I still liked the fact that you could have everything with Kajabi, but because Mighty Networks community features were so good, I was like walking the tight line there for a second. But Kajabi just made a massive announcement, which completely changes the game for anyone running their membership on Kajabi. So a couple of features here. And I just actually released a newsletter. If you're on my newsletter, but I've already seen this. Every second Sunday, I release a newsletter. And on that newsletter, I have a founder's corner, which I basically do a membership training, or I do like big news in the membership space. This week, we did some big news because Kajabi just released their new features. So I did already say the features and why they should be important to you, why you should know about them and care about them on the email, but I'm going to go through them really quickly here again. Number one is communities are now included with all of Kajabi's plans. Before, you used to have to pay extra to have a community, and now they're available across the board and included. Not only is this a very good thing for your membership because you need a community, but this just shows you, if you have not started your membership yet, you need to, because if a multi-billion-dollar company like Kajabi is really recognizing how much people were needing community and how much of a demand it was and how people were angry that they had to pay extra to have a community, for them to actually go all in and be like, you know what, I'm going to put community with all of our plans, and we're also going to double down on community features. This just shows you how much is to come with communities on Kajabi, but also how much this industry is going towards community. So you want to be like, we're still in the early stages of it. Technically, you could still be an early adopter if you have not started your membership yet, but stop waiting. Get on it. This is such a huge green flag to go. The next feature, which honestly I think is just going to be such a game changer, because number one, this other platform is very expensive, but number two, it's just making everything on Kajabi again, is you can delete ManyChat if you have Kajabi now. Kajabi just introduced their universal inbox, which basically replaces ManyChat. So you know how when you're on Instagram and you can say, comment the word training for my free training, and then someone comments that word and an automatic DM goes to them with the link, so you don't have to do anything? Well, Kajabi just replaced that. So anything that comes from Instagram and Facebook right now, I'm not sure if they're going to expand it, but I'm sure they will. But anything that comes through Instagram and Facebook is now going into Kajabi's universal box, and it basically just like takes over that whole process that you used to have to pay ManyChat for. And this is great news because ManyChat's not a cheap software. So again, that's another way that Kajabi is actually saving you. The next one, I already mentioned it on here, but it is an actual new feature, is the auto commissions with affiliate programs. So before, Kajabi still hosted affiliates, which was great, but you did have to do it manually. You had to pay your affiliates out manually. Now it's all automatic, which is amazing. We already talked about that, so I'll skip over this one quick. Another really great feature that they introduced is your payment plan option and your pay in full, or like your annual option, can be on the same checkout page now. Before, you used to have to do separate offers for each one. So like have your own separate offer for payment plans and then your own separate offer for pay in full. And then anytime you updated your membership, you had to make sure you were updating 2 offers, even though they were the same offer, which is kind of confusing and again can lead to a lot of human error. But now Kajabi has that all on one page. So now you don't have to have multiple offers, and it actually makes the checkout experience a lot more seamless for the person checking out, because maybe they wanted to do annual, so they click on that one, and then they're like, oh wait, maybe I wanted to do payment plan, so they have to go back, click on that one, and then they're like going back and forth, and then they might just get overwhelmed and get out of there. Now everything's on one page, they can see it clearly, which is great for you, great for them. And finally, another feature that they offer is now the course inside of your membership and your community are all in one app. Before, when you logged in through desktop on your community, your members could get their course and the community all in one place. But if they were using mobile, they had to download the Kajabi app, and then they had to download the Kajabi Communities app. And it was kind of like this clunky thing, which, I mean, it's not hard to understand, but when you're trying to communicate that to 50, 100,000 people who are in your membership, there's bound to be people being like, what? I don't understand it. So that just takes away that whole headache. Everything is available all in one place now. And this is just like a tiny list of all the features Kajabi released, but these are just the ones that I feel like as a membership founder, you need to be aware of and know when you're making the decision to choose your membership platform. Okay, that was a long one. I don't think the other answers for the other questions are going to be this long. But I wanted to give that one some time because I feel like this is like one of the biggest sticky points with people is like, I have this amazing membership idea. I want to get it started, but oh my God, I'm like at a state of freeze right now trying to figure out what platform to use. Those are my recommendations. Okay, next question. Naya asked, should I offer tiers or just one level? And she did quotations, level with my membership. So my answer here is it totally depends. Personally, I've had both. I've had memberships with tiers, and right now I have $1 Million Memberships Club that does not have tiers. It's just all one level. The better question to ask is, actually, there's a few better questions to ask. So let's get into those. The first thing I really think of is, what is the ultimate result or transformation that your members are to have inside of your membership? Are there multiple results, or is there just like one common result? Do you feel like for different stages of people going through that result, so like let's just say someone starting at a beginner stage and then someone starting maybe a little bit more advanced, do you feel like they need a higher level of support from you personally, or from say like community managers personally, or from a coaching team personally, or whoever you have on your team? Do you feel like they actually need more touch points from you to get that result? Or does your community and your calls and your frameworks, can they go through that without actually needing more touch points and can get the same amount of results from what you have offered in the main? Another thing to really look at is, will offering more tiers water down your original offer? So like something I see a lot of times is people will offer all of these different tiers inside of their membership, and then their marketing to their audience is just confusing. They're talking about this one tier and then they talk about this other one. And then some people are like, wait, is this the same membership, or is this like 2 different programs? And it can just really water down your marketing. So my suggestion is, if you're unsure in the first place, like if it's not so clear to you, like, okay, yes, they 100% need different tiers. If it's kind of like an iffy, I don't know, maybe, I would just start with one. And the reason for this, especially if you have a new membership, because going to take time for you to really establish your membership and get your membership established in your industry in the first place, right? A new membership is going to take time to establish, point blank. There's nothing else to say about that. And so if you are really putting all of your marketing efforts and everything you talk about when it comes to your membership into just describing one membership, essentially, that's going to be a lot easier to establish that membership so that down the road, if you find that you do need to offer a different tier, it's more established in the public's eye of what this membership is. And okay, great. Now she's just offering a different opportunity within that same membership. Whereas if you're trying to establish, it can just kind of get messy. The other thing too is looking at, do you have the capacity to manage different tiers, right? A lot of the times a higher tier involves higher support. And so if you're automatically trying to establish this new membership and then offering all these different tiers, is that going to pull you away from actually nurturing the membership in the first place? Or do you actually have the support in place to do so is another thing to look at. So again, suggestion here is just go with one unless it's a very obvious that you need a different tier. Run it for at least 3 months and get client feedback. If you did a founding members launch, maybe that's a really good time to get really in-depth feedback from your founding members after 3 months of what's working, what they would like to see more of. Do they think that there needs to be another tier? Do you think that there needs to be another tier based on how you are running that membership? Things will come more clear to you as you actually run your membership itself. I find that people get so stuck in memberships of overthinking of how everything's going to go and they want it to be perfect before they ever launch. And the truth is, I've been in memberships since 2019. I have never seen a membership with the exact same structure or without anything changing inside of that membership 6 months after that membership has been launched. Something always changes. Either you figure you need one more call or less calls or another tier, or maybe you run the community different. Like there's always something that's going to improve or change or whatever it is. So just get it out there. Get it out there, test it. If you really are unsure, make your first one a founding members and beta so that your people also know it's a big beta or founding members round. But just get it out there. And it's much easier to add things onto your membership if you need to, rather than have all of these things and then be struggling to run it and then have to take it down. Okay, Megan asked, can I run my membership on social media? My answer to this is I would highly advise against it. And the reason for that is, there's a lot of reasons, but the main reasons for this is number one, control. There's no control over social media. Look what happened to TikTok not that long ago. TikTok fucking said goodbye for a night, but everyone thought it was going to be much longer, and it could happen again. You never know. Or look at like Instagram or Facebook. There's been so many times just through my career working online that it's been down for a day or multiple days, and that affects things like launches. And say you had like planned workshops or things like that with your audience. If you're holding your membership on social media, you do not have control of all of these crazy things that happen with social media. It might seem like a great idea at the beginning when you don't have that many members, but as you grow, social media doesn't really give you options in terms of like onboarding or tagging or segmenting or anything like that actually is really important to have in place as your membership grows. Honestly, it's important to have in place even if you have 10 members, because you always want to build your membership expecting that 100 members could just flood in at any moment. So it's really important to have these things in place, and you just can't have those things in place and those protocols in place with social media. As you grow, it will just become a fucking nightmare, honestly. And not only that, but there's too many distractions on social media. Like just look at when you open Instagram, you see someone's story. All of a sudden you're just like, whoop, I'm going to go to this person's story. And then you're in another world. And then you go, whoop, and then you're in another world. And all of a sudden you're on Pinterest and you're looking at recipes and you have no idea how you got there. Like Instagram, social media, Facebook, all of these places, they're just huge distraction pots in our hands. And that makes it a really hard place to grow an actual successful community, because community is all about just being in a community with one another. When you put someone on social media to be in a community, they're like, sure, maybe they can be in a channel, but at the end of the day, they're not in your own world. They're on social media. They can easily just swipe out of that and be somewhere else in a matter of a second. Plus, a lot of people now are starting to get burnt out with social media. There's a lot of people who are deleting their Facebooks, their Instagrams, their TikToks. They just don't want to be a part of it, whether it's for their mental health or whatever it is. And so if you run your membership on social media, you are potentially losing all of those people who might have really wanted to be inside of your membership, but simply just they don't want to download social media again to be a part of it. Next question, Adrian asked, while in beta, how do I know when I should invest in a membership platform? So my answer to this is you should invest in a membership platform before even starting your membership. And here's why. Number one, you want a professional experience right from the beginning. Even if you're just having your founding members in there, you want to actually run the membership as if you were running the membership the way you wanted it to be in a year from now. You really want as much of that like end experience game starting as you can. And like I said before, everything's going to change. That's normal. But you really want to get your founding members and get people who are testing your membership or that first round of your membership. You want it to be on the platform that you think you're going to want to stay on, because that's how you're really going to know what features you like, what's not working, all of the things. It's going to be such a headache to start people in one thing and then change them to a platform afterwards where they got used to one way of doing things. You know what I mean? It just doesn't really make sense to not start with a platform. The other thing is that your founding members a lot of the times are truly going to be those seeds that end up staying in your membership for the long term. Of course, some of them won't be, but a lot of the times those core founding members are like your truest membership fans. A lot of the times those are the people who are going to stay, who are going to help create the culture, who are going to end up selling your membership for you, who maybe end up being leaders inside of your membership, who knows? But it's usually those people. And so you want to start creating the culture that you want inside of this membership right from the get-go. And so that's another reason why you just want to have them in their home, or at least what you think is going to be their home for the long term. Again, things can change. Another platform might pop up that you're like, wow, I need to go to that. But you want to at least be pretty sure this is where you want to be. So my suggestion for this actually would more so be do your research on platforms first. Take advantage of free trials. I feel like almost every platform has a free trial. And this is the number one tip I tell my members inside of $1 Million Memberships Club. Before you actually launch your membership for the first time, or even if you've already launched your membership and you're just like still really trying to establish and grow your membership, you should be joining other memberships. You should be a part of other memberships and try, if you can. I know it's hard to like actually know where people host their memberships when you're signing up, but try your best to get into memberships where you know they're using different platforms. So like pick your top platforms. Maybe you pick Kajabi and then Mighty Network. Go and find a membership that uses Kajabi and go in there and just see, this is what the community looks like. This is what the meetups feel like. I loved my onboarding experience here. Oh, I can see this was all done with Kajabi. You know what I mean? And then doing the same with Mighty Networks. If you want a membership that uses Kajabi, hi, $1 Million Memberships Club. We run everything through Kajabi. But honestly, like, joking aside, self-research is completely a must. It's huge because also it really allows you to see what you love, what you don't love, and really curate a membership experience that's the absolute best for your members. Okay, last question. Amanda asked, is it actually possible to sell your membership without running ads in 2025? I understand why you asked this question because I feel like anytime you open up Instagram, every single person has an ad, right? Like literally every 2 scrolls, there's an ad. Every swipe on stories, there's an ad. I get it. There's ads all over the place. But good news is 1000% yes. And actually, I usually recommend my members don't run ads right away, especially while you're still growing and establishing and getting your brand out there, because there's better ways to sell your membership. My favorite strategy to sell your membership is actually a strategy where you essentially kind of mimic your membership. The reason why I like this is because it's an easy yes when you actually do go in for the sell. People are already in a community with you. They get to see your style as a founder or how you lead calls, if maybe that's something you do inside of your membership. membership. They get to actually experience the benefit of being in your membership before they're in your membership. And then I actually sell my membership 90% of the time through my email list. So many people think that you have to sell your membership through social media. And then especially if you have a smaller audience, that can really like hold people back from starting a membership because they think, I just have a small audience. No one's going to see it. It's so hard for me to sell. My stories get like 50 views. How am I going to sell a membership? But actually the best way to sell your membership is through your email list. And you don't need a big audience to grow your email list. I would say my email list is probably like 95% of how I get sales inside of my membership. It's absolutely massive and it's underrated. And more people need to be using it. Why email actually works more than ads is because your and trust me, there's a time and a place for ads. I run ads too, but it's more of like a scaling strategy, and we can get into that in another episode. I also have an entire section of that inside of $1 Million Memberships Club, inside of our 8-step framework. So we have all of that inside of the club if you want to go in there. I feel like it could probably be an episode at some point, not today. Just know there's a time and a place for ads if you choose to go that route anyways. But why email is literally like the biggest secret weapon for memberships is number one, it's direct to customer. Social media is so hard because like I said, if you are trying to sell your membership on social media, only I'll have to double check this, but I'm pretty certain it's like 2 to 4% of your audience actually sees your content, which is insane because think of what most people are doing on a day-to-day basis. They're trying to create content for TikTok or Instagram and like stressing themselves out about the algorithm and all of these things when 2 to 4% of your audience even sees it. And then for you to try and sell on top of that, 3% is like a very average sales rate. So out of that 2 to 4% of people actually seeing your stuff, only 3% of that can maybe lead into a sale. Those chances are not, I like better chances than that. Email is more around 30 to 40% of your email list sees and opens your email. That is a massive difference to social media. So not only can you go direct to the people who are already your hot leads because they opted into your email list for some reason, you're getting at least 30 to 40% of those people actually seeing your stuff. Inside of your emails, you're able to customize it more. You're able to include videos, links, graphics. You can story tell more. Like you can create a whole little world inside of one email to sell your membership. You can show behind the scenes of everything can be in there. It's not so easy for people to just swipe out and how they do with social media. Like, of course, they can go back, they can go to other emails, but they're more contained in an email than they are, say, on an Instagram story where it's literally just like a little swipe of a finger. Not only that, but again, going back to social media uncertainty, social media can shut down at any time. The algorithm can change and all of a sudden your stuff isn't being seen. You can get shadow banned and your stuff won't be seen. You can get a restricted account or someone could hack your account, whatever. But with email, you own all of the emails that come through that list. You can literally download those. You have them. If anything ever happens to social media, you have email. Did I mention it's straight to your warm leads? Like that is the biggest thing. So honestly, yes, you can definitely sell without ads. And actually, I would encourage you to sell without ads. And I would really encourage you to build your email list to do so. That would, like, if I was to give you a hack for consistently signing membership members, it would be email, which is why I also have decided to offer this. You guys know if you listen to the start of this podcast, and if you've even seen my social media or my emails, $1 Million Memberships Club, which is my monthly membership, is now open for enrollment. And listen to this. This is the big part that you need to pay attention to. If you sign up right now and you let me know you signed up from this podcast episode or YouTube video, I will send you my free course that is all on how to build your email list and sell consistently through it. I dive into my biggest strategy for not only growing your email list, but also for selling your membership so easily. Like the easiest way you will ever sell your membership, you will be blown away by this, honestly. And it's a super digestible course. It's not something that's going to take you weeks to do. You can do it in a day. One of my members inside $1 Million Memberships Club, we had a call the other day inside of the club, and she got on and let me know that she's watched the course 3 times already. And I have to read to you. Let me look on my computer. I have to read to you what she said because... Okay, so this was a member who did the email list building strategy combined with the sales strategy on top of it. And she said, I was questioning how much time it would take. I held my first live today and it was amazing. 35 registered members. It was electric. I'm having so much fun and so far it works. She then goes on to say, ladies, because she's talking to the other members inside of our community. She says, ladies, the system works. If you're serious about what you want to do, follow it. In capitals, she says, do it and you will see results. It's the absolute best. So if you join $1 Million Memberships Club right now and you let me know that you joined from this podcast episode, I will send you that course completely free. Again, it's short, it's to the point, and you're going to be able to execute on it immediately. So all you got to do is you go to the links in the show notes or description, find $1 Million Memberships Club, go there, pick your membership. So you can either do a monthly membership or you can do an annual membership. Right now, all of our prices until September 30th are like completely slashed because we have our September promo going on right now. I definitely encourage you, if you're listening to this in real time, go join right now because those prices, you will see what they normally are, go right back up in October. And if you do an annual membership, you also get a $1 Million Memberships customized gift box, which includes a little engraved Palo Santo that says $1 Million Mode on it. And then you have a little journal that says $1 Million Membership on it. I personally use mine every single morning. Every morning, I always write down like what I want my membership to be, where I want to be in 5 years. Like I write as if I have it, my future writing exercise. I've been doing it for years. I love using my journal for that. And I love just like putting my membership ideas in there because when you are a membership founder, your ideas are insane. They're constantly going. So I love to like brain dump my membership ideas inside of my journal. And I love to light the Palo Santo to just really get me in that space. It also says $1 Million Mode on it. So I just feel like the energetics there are on point and it's just the best. So if you sign for an annual membership, you get one of those boxes as well and a little customized note from me too. And then once you sign, this is the important piece to get the course. Once you sign up, you will get an automatic email right to your inbox. All you have to do is hit reply to that email and say, hey, I just joined from the podcast episode. Can I get my course? That's it. Literally, the inbox, the reply, it comes right to me. It goes to my inbox. I see it. I don't miss any single one of them. And just let me know that you came from this episode and I will send you that course right away. Another question I get all the time, and you might be wondering this as well, is $1 Million Memberships Club only for new membership founders? I get a lot of emails and questions from people who have memberships of 400 people and they're really trying to scale, or 200 people and they're really trying, and everything feels like it's built on a house of cards, unstructured, and everything just blew up and have any systems in place. If that is you, I have good news. $1 Million Memberships Club is not just for new founders, although our framework does start at build. So even if you just have a membership idea and you're really wanting to execute it, you can start right from the beginning of our framework. But inside of the club, we have 3 main stages of growth. We have our build stage, we have our culture stage, and then we have our $1 Million Mode stage. Our build stage is perfect if you are in that beginner stage. So whether it's a brand new idea or if you've started but you are just really kind of trying to piece everything together yourself, our build stage takes you through the entire build to get your membership super solidified and a solid membership right from the get-go. Then we have our culture mode. This is where you're really focusing on creating a good community culture. This is where you're really focusing on membership experience, membership cadence. So like your posting schedules, your engagement schedules, really getting members to engage with each other instead of just with you, or even just getting your members to engage in general. This is where a lot of people who are already established want to start, because there's a lot of pieces that you probably, if things just took off really fast for you and you kind of have just been like, if things just took off really fast for you, there's probably a lot of missing pieces that you're going to want to get in place, especially in culture, maybe even in build. So we recommend that you kind of just take a peek through all of them first before diving into the scaling mode, which is our $1 Million Mode. Then of course we have $1 Million Mode. This is where we really focus on retention and scaling. So this is where we are really looking at our processes inside of our membership and making sure we have systems in place for retention. Quarterly check-ins. This is where we kind of look at the boring stuff like KPIs and stats and all of that kind of stuff. It's not boring for me, it's boring for a lot of people. But it's so important that, and then we have our scaling. This is where we talk about ads, where we talk about building out team. where we talk about building out affiliate programs and leader programs and all of those things that are really going to take your membership that's already really, really solid now and just scaling it. And this is where a lot of people get freaked out before they're inside of $1 Million Memberships Club, because a lot of people want success, but they know they're not built for success. They know their membership, if 500 people dropped in there the next day, it would be like panic mode. By the time you get to $1 Million mode, we have checklists, we have milestones, we have ways to make sure that you are actually ready for $1 Million mode before you get there. And 99% of people are going to start in build or culture. I've never had anyone start in $1 Million mode. So yes, if you are scaling your membership, if you already have an established membership, this is definitely for you as well. And on top of all of that, when you get inside of $1 Million Memberships Club, you're going to get our 8-step $1 Million Memberships framework. And we make it so simple so that you're not looking ahead, you're not looking behind, you always know where you're at and where you need to start. And we know that membership founders are busy as fuck. And so our entire membership is really built around plug and play templates that you can use, onboarding sequences that you can just take and plug in right away, checklists that you can take and plug in right away, sales page prompts, onboarding checklists. Everything is in there waiting for you to just plug into your membership so that you can build in half the time. On top of our frameworks and our checklists and our plug and play templates, you also have such solid support inside of our community. We have 2 monthly calls every single month where we come. I do a training on memberships. In October, we're talking about Black Friday and Black Friday prep, so that when you get into November, you are prepped. You are not flying by the seat of your pants and having another flopped Black Friday launch, because you have been prepared for it since beginning of October, because you're in $1 Million Memberships Club. We have another support call at the end of the month, and this is really great to just sit in a room with other membership founders, go through what's working, what's not working. You can choose to come and really participate, or some people come and they just want to sit back and just like be in the energy and hear what other people are going through, what other people are trying. It's just such a good supportive place to get support for your own membership. On top of that, we also have our community. So anytime you have questions or want to share a win or want to connect with someone or collaborate with someone, you have our community every single day. There's always conversations happening in there every day. This is absolutely by far the best membership for female membership founders. There's actually not another membership out there like this one. Most memberships are focusing on business as whole. So some people have courses, some people have one-on-ones, some people have memberships, and it's just kind of like a hodgepodge of everybody. $1 Million Memberships Club is only for membership founders. So every single thing in there is going to be specific for your membership, which is really going to help you create a standout membership, because everything is detailed for membership growth. If you are listening to this in real time, prices are going back up in 2 days. So get your butt into $1 Million Memberships Club if you have been thinking about it. Once you join, once you pick if you want to be a monthly member or an annual member. And again, if you're an annual member, you get a gift box from me and a little signed note as well. But once you pick your membership, you'll get an email that's going to give you access to our community right away. You can get started right away. Hit reply to that email. Let me know that you came from this podcast episode and that you want your course. I will send it to you ASAP, and you will be ready to not only build your membership, but build your email list and create a freaking legacy. You can go to paigevandy.com and find the membership link, or you can go to the link in the show notes or the description box here and find it there. I hope you loved this episode. And again, if you have any questions that you want to submit, go find me on Instagram at the Membership Muse and submit your questions. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.